Well, hello there, and welcome to the channel, welcome to this video. Thank you very much for clicking on this. This isn't something I do very often, and quite frankly, it's something I'm not very good at, and that is just sharing my thoughts and talking to myself towards a camera. However, I figured it was time for a channel update. It's been quite a long time since I did one of these, so I figured now is the time. I started this channel 4.5 years ago, which doesn't sound very long in the grand scheme of things. However, to me it feels like a lifetime ago. I started this channel during the 2020 COVID pandemic lockdowns, when I had very little in terms of responsibility. I had unlimited time, I had so much enthusiasm for all the hobbies that I had. And as you'd imagine, as life's gone on, I'm marching through my 30s, and with it, that enthusiasm and that time is beginning to dwindle. I now have a wife, a daughter, a dog, a mortgage, I've finished university and I have a career now. So all the things that come along with being an adult, unfortunately, have found their way towards me. However, I've realised in life, focusing on my responsibilities and my career and all that kind of stuff, I'm not particularly happy with who I've kind of become. Not going into too much depth, I've kind of had an epiphany of sorts during some time off work, in that I am not career driven. I strive to get as much enjoyment from life as possible, and that's not a bad thing. I think as long as my daughter's getting a little bit older, she's now 2.5, and as long as my family's provided for, I have decided to spend my life focusing on things that I enjoy. And it's a very good feeling. It feels like a weight off my shoulders. My job can be very stressful. It's a managerial position, so comes with great responsibility, difficult conversations, a lot of paperwork. It's aged me terribly, to say the least. I was watching some old streams of mine from several years ago, just out of curiosity, and I could see the enthusiasm in my face, I could see the enjoyment, I could hear it in my voice. The things I would talk about, I was just so much more laid back, so much more pleasant to be around, I would imagine, as well. And I've figured there is absolutely nothing stopping me from becoming that again. Things like video games, tabletop games and movies are all different things to different people. Some consider them just to be simple forms of entertainment. To me, they're much more though. I think they're incredible expressions of art. They're memories, they're useful distractions, and they're deep worlds where you can just immerse yourself and disappear. I think they have the potential to cause aggravation, but even more potential to bring people together. And I think at times it's particularly shown in my little channel, where people from all over the world and all different backgrounds share their experiences, their hobbies and their triumphs. Life and the stress that has come with it in the past 2 years has really bogged me down and caused me severe amounts of pressure. So, to combat this, and don't worry, this is in relation to my channel. This isn't just me rambling about my personal life. This will have impacts on my YouTube channel. So I have decided I'm now going to focus on enjoying life more and returning to the person that I was when I first started this channel. I am going to give up the pretentious attitude of, I have a big career and I have so many responsibilities and qualifications. That's not me, and quite frankly, the things that I enjoy in life are my hobbies, my family, enjoying playing games like The Elder Scrolls and Dauntless. I enjoy going to conventions, and I collect and paint tabletop figurines. I'm an enormous nerd, and I take great pride in that, and I no longer am going to suppress it. My career is essentially no longer my priority. It will be my family, and it will be this channel, the hobbies that I bring and share with this channel. And I hope that resonates with the older members of my audience, as well as those of a similar age to myself. And to the younger members of my audience, I know it may sound cliche and something you've heard many times in the past, and I'm just a stranger on the internet. However, I cannot encourage you enough to focus on what it is you enjoy doing in life. This crazy world has a way of dragging you down and distracting you from things that make you happy. And we're only here once, and we're not here very, very long. And I'm starting to find that. So my life will be focusing on, my family first, but also my hobbies, because I believe that our hobbies are what define us. And I hope with this newfound enthusiasm and my new thoughts on life, you will start to notice a change in my channel. So what does this mean for my channel? What are the changes? Why am I even providing this update in the first place? And I apologise for my philosophical ramble. It's just something I want you to get off my chest, and I don't think anyone in my real life would understand exactly what it is I'm talking about, so I'm using this as an outlet. So, this channel. What are the changes? What am I trying to update you with here? So as I stated, I started this channel 4.5 years ago. I began by sharing my video game collection, which I was so enthusiastic about and very proud of. I had a huge collection of Nintendo Switch games and SNES games and PS2 games. I talked about them in great detail. That is what I started this channel on. And then eventually I began focusing more on Elder Scrolls lore. I started sharing book readings and lore investigations, and I think that's what drew quite a lot of attention. And I think specifically during the COVID pandemic, when everyone was sitting in front of a computer screen, I was getting pretty good numbers. Nothing amazing, but pretty good by my standards. And then it started to quiet down as the years went on, purely because of inconsistency. Life dragged me away from my hobbies, and I gave up my games room when my daughter was born, and I just didn't have a setup or any want to really share any content. I eventually found my way to Dauntless. Obviously I've been playing Dauntless consistently through this time, but then that became one of the main focuses. And then as times went on, I seemed to have completely abandoned all other subjects, all other hobbies, all other games, focusing specifically on Dauntless now. And I've had some people asking me if I'll ever return to, the Elder Scrolls lore, or sharing some of my video game collection, or if I'll ever stream again. And the answer is pretty much no. I am enjoying Dauntless. Dauntless is not my favourite game ever. It is not the greatest game to ever grace the world. However, it's a game that brings me huge enjoyment. It is a game that has essentially become my RuneScape, or my World of Warcraft. It is a social aspect. It is something I feel genuinely a part of. It's not the only MMO style game that I play. However, in the world of the Elder Scrolls Online, I am one tiny little voice, one very small member. However, I feel like with Dauntless, I am part of the community. I am part of the online community. I am one of the content creators. I have been acknowledged by the developers a few times. So it's essentially what I'll be focusing on. I enjoy that we've had a content drought, but there's so much on the horizon. There's so much to talk about. This new update is probably an update that I don't think I've ever been so excited about an update for a game before. I think this Dauntless 2.0 update is wonderful. I think it's a game that is in desperate need of a revamp, and they are bringing it, and sharing all the information that we've been getting is really, really enjoyable. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on. This podcast that I've started, that is my pride and joy just now. I really enjoy this podcast. Bringing other content creators who focus on Dauntless to join me, I have found it to be brilliant. I've found it to be so exciting, something I really look forward to making on a daily basis. So I'm going to continue to do that. So no, I won't be returning to any of my old content. I won't be returning to Skyrim or to video game collections, purely because I don't really collect anymore, apart from, smaller things here and there. My my vast collection in my games room is now no more. No, Dauntless is now my focus on this channel. And for those of you who are subscribed to me, both old and new, I appreciate it enormously. There are some people in my comment section who have commented for nearly 5 years, and that is just wonderful. There are people who have lost along the way, which is completely natural when you're only focusing on one game, which is not to the enjoyment of everyone. Completely natural. And I found this focusing specifically on Dauntless, and you now have newer subscribers who comment now regularly and seem regularly involved with the channel, which is exactly what I want. I like the consistency of Dauntless. I like that I have a single focus for this channel. I always said, and I think I said in an earlier update video many years ago, that I didn't like that my channel was all over the place. I didn't like that, I was covering Elder Scrolls 1 minute, or the Super Nintendo the next, the Nintendo Switch or other, and then Dauntless. And I think it kind of overwhelmed me at times, because I like to focus on a single topic, and being able to focus on Dauntless is exactly what I'm going to enjoy doing, I think. The future of this channel will be focusing primarily and completely on Dauntless. I will be covering the 2.0 update. I'll be continuing in the future past that with new additions to the game, right up until, this game is dead and buried and a thing of the past, which one day will happen. I plan on continuing with my lore series. I uploaded my lore video on Ulrich Mass not too long ago, which did pretty well. It was hugely enjoyable to make. It was very interesting to make. I will be continuing the podcast. I will continue inviting external channels to join me on this podcast if that's something you're interested in. I'll be continuing with updates, and I do plan on bringing along a weekly stream as well. Streaming something I used to do for both Dauntless and the Elder Scrolls. However, I'll be planning on a weekly stream of Dauntless, just a laid back stream on YouTube like I used to do in the past. And as I've said in the past, I don't care about how many subscribers I've got or how many views I get. My main focus is to be a good member of this community and to enjoy my hobbies and to show that through this channel. So, thank you for sitting through that. As I said, this is not something I do very often. It's not something I will be doing very often in the future. However, it's good to get it off my chest and to update you on my plans for this channel. As I said, this channel brings me huge enjoyment. The comment sections and the interactions I have with those of you out in the Dauntless community brings me huge enjoyment, and it's something that I am now going to prioritise in my life. If this is something that resonates with you, if this is something you can relate to, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. It'd be wonderful to talk about it. As I said, I've got a lot planned for the future. I will be doing lore videos, I'll be doing news and update videos, I will be continuing my podcast, and I'll be bringing along weekly streams, probably starting in 2 weeks' time, which I'm very much looking forward to. If you are new to the channel, please feel free to like and subscribe. And until next time, see you later.